Hey everyone, Chef Brian here, cooking fresh with Klondike brands, and boy do I have a fresh take for you on a Spanish paella. This is a great dish that's normally made with a lot of meats and rice in it, but I'm going to show you how to do a meatless dish that's delicious using the gourmet medley potato. So let's get started. Spanish paella is one of my favorite dishes, and I always will remember it. It was cooked out when I was on the beach traveling through the Caribbean. This great big pot with all of this kind of seafood in it. So traditionally, it's made with a lot of meat, but I'm going to twist it up a little bit here and show you how to do a great vegetarian one. Now, I have several little ingredients here that you have at home. Just some diced up onions, a little bit of tomato paste, garlic, red bell peppers, parsley, salt and pepper, dried thyme, a little bit of paprika, some diced up tomatoes, as well as just a vegetable medley. You can use your favorite one. I've just got one here that has cauliflower, some broccoli, and carrots in it. Now, traditionally, it's made with rice, but I'm going to use the beautiful Klondike gourmet medley, and the colors from the purples and the reds are perfect. And of course, you know they have the beautiful buttery, creamy texture on the inside, so it really lends itself to a great meatless dish. So to start it out, I just have a paella dish that I've heated up here. This is very typical. They come in all kinds of sizes. The one that I saw when I was having it was about this big around, so it was on a great big fire underneath it on the beach. It was a lot of fun eating it. And so to this, all you do is add a little bit of oil, and you don't need a lot in it, just enough to saute up some of the onions and garlic. Now, when you're sauteing garlic, this is important. Let's add in those onions. Do you hear that sizzle? That's what you want to hear. So when you're sauteing up garlic, you've got to be careful because it can burn, and once it's burned, there's no going back. So you just have to discard it and put fresh garlic into it. So if I'm going to use it, I'll generally wait for the onions to saute a little bit before I add in the garlic. But today, we're going to be adding in a lot of ingredients to this fairly quickly, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. And already I can smell these fragrance of the onion and the garlic. It really smells delicious. Also to this, I'm going to add a little bit of paprika, and before I get too much in there, I want to add in my spices so they can kind of toast. Let's put some of that. That's dried thyme. It looks delicious. Let's mix this around. And there's one spice I'm going to put in here, which I always kind of giggle and say, oh, it's the most expensive substance on the planet. Well, it really is. It's the stamen of some irises, or the crocus, and you may know it by the name saffron. And so I'm going to unfold it here, because this is generally how it comes. It comes in a nice little package, and I'm just going to take out a few of them here. You can see they're just little strands, and this is the key or the flavor to paella. So let's go ahead and add this right into our dish. Saute the, I can smell that saffron already. Just kind of saute that around. To it, I'm going to add our diced up bell peppers. Oh, that is looking fantastic. I have some just diced up Roma tomatoes, and I do like to use Roma tomatoes in this a little better than other kinds of tomatoes, simply because they have more meat on them rather than juice. So there's our tomatoes. I have some freshly chopped parsley that we'll just add right into it. And tomato paste. And tomato paste is one of those little ingredients that you may have to adjust depending on the dish. Tomato paste does two things. One, it adds obviously tomato flavor, but it also helps to thicken up juices in there. So if you have a really juicy tomato that you're using, you may want to put just a little bit more tomato paste in there. So let's just turn that up. Now here's the medley of vegetables. You use whatever kind you have at home. If you don't like this particular medley, have some fun, be creative, and use whatever kind you'd like. There we go. Now let's saute this around for just a little bit to let all the flavors come together. Let that saffron really permeate through it. Just saute that for a couple of minutes. It's going to become really fragrant with all of those spices. And now I'm going to add into it the Klondike Gourmet Medley potato. And what I did is just dice them up and then just cook them a little bit so they're soft. You don't want to add too raw potato in here. It may not have time to cook in there. And I love this. Look at the purple colors in there and all of that beautiful yellow buttery color from the Klondike Rose, the little mini ones, and the Klondike Gold Dust. So just simply add those in. There we go. Oh, wow, this is delicious. Okay, now this is important at this part. You want to be careful to fold that in so that the tomato paste really coats everything nicely, because what we're going to do is add our vegetable stock into here. There we go. Look at those purples. I think that looks so beautiful. So we're going to add a little bit of our vegetable stock in here. There we go. Oh. This is definitely a fresh take on a Spanish paella. Okay, now you can see that that vegetable stock is in there. It's beginning to boil nicely. All of those fantastic colors. All I want to do at this point is just cover it, let that simmer down and reduce that stock by half, and we've got a great meatless dish with the Klondike Gourmet Medley potatoes. A few minutes have passed because I've let the stock reduce down, and this looks and smells fantastic. I'm going to take a look in here and just kind of peek and keep you all in suspense there. And oh, look at that. Seriously, the Klondike Gourmet Medley potatoes in there just make this dish. Those purples, oh, it's beautiful for a meatless dish there. Delicious. Now, normally a paella is served with lemon, so I'm just going to put some of the lemons right on here. And when they serve it, you can squeeze some of that great lemon juice on top of it. That saffron just smells so good. And there you have a fresh twist on a Spanish paella with the Klondike Gourmet Medley potatoes. I'm Chef Brian, cooking fresh with Klondike brands, and I'll look forward to sharing more Klondike family recipes with you all in the future. I'll see you next time.